You know, I've often asked myself this question. Why do only 2% of people achieve extraordinary success, while the other 98% settle for mediocrity or failure? It's a fascinating question, isn't it? And I believe the answer contains profound truths that can change your life if you have the courage to hear them and the wisdom to apply them. The mathematics of success. Let me start with a little mathematics. Now, I'm not a mathematician, but I do understand the principle of cause and effect. 2%. That's a small number. If you have a room of 100 people, that's just 2 individuals who will rise to remarkable heights. The question is, will you be one of them? What separates the 2% from everyone else isn't talent. No, no, no. It isn't luck either, though some might try to convince you otherwise. It isn't even education, though education is certainly valuable. The 2% succeed because they understand and apply certain fundamental principles that the 98% either ignore, reject, or simply don't know about. And that's what I want to share with you today. These aren't complex strategies, they're secret formulas. They're simple truths that have always been available to anyone willing to observe and learn. The philosophy of the 98%. Before we talk about the 2%, let's understand the philosophy of the 98%. This is important because most of us start here. I certainly did. The 98% live by a philosophy of blame. The economy is bad. My boss doesn't appreciate me. I didn't have the same opportunities as others. The government takes too much in taxes. The 98% focus on what they lack rather than what they can create. They say, if only I had more time, if only I had more money, if only I'd gone into a different family. The 98% wait for someone to motivate them, for circumstances to be perfect, for the right moment to arrive. They're waiting for a bus on a street where no buses run. The 98% major in minor things. They spend hours watching television, but can't find 15 minutes to read a book. They know the statistics of their favorite sports team, but don't know their own financial numbers. They can quote lines from movies, but haven't written down their own goals. Does any of this sound familiar? It should, because we've all been there, including me. The difference is that some of us decide not to stay there. The philosophy of the 2%. Now, let's talk about the philosophy of the 2%. What makes them different? What sets them apart? The 2% understand that success is not something you pursue. Success is something you attract by the person you become. They focus relentlessly on personal development. They understand that to have more, you must become more. The 2% take full responsibility for their lives. No blame, no excuses, no justifications. They understand a fundamental truth. Your life is the result of your choices, not your circumstances. The 2% set clear, specific goals and review them daily. They don't just have vague wishes or dreams. They have targets with deadlines. They understand that a goal without a deadline is merely a wish. The 2% invest in themselves. They read books, attend seminars, find mentors, and never stop learning. They understand that formal education will make you a living, but self-education will make you a fortune. The 2% manage their time like it's their most precious resource, because it is. They don't spend time, they invest it. They ask, is what I'm doing right now bringing me closer to my goals? The 2% understand the power of discipline. They do what needs to be done when it needs to be done, whether they feel like it or not. They don't let their emotions dictate their actions. The 2% are willing to delay gratification. They plant in the spring so they can harvest in the fall. They understand that you can't enjoy the shade of an oak tree unless someone was disciplined enough to plant the acorn years before. The hard truth about hard work. Now, here's one of those hard truths the 98% ignore. Success requires hard work. There's no way around it. The 2% aren't afraid of hard work, they embrace it. But here's the key distinction. The 2% work smart and hard. They don't just put in hours, they put in high quality, focused hours. They work with purpose, intensity, and direction. The 2% understand that you don't get paid for the hour. You get paid for the value you bring to the hour. They constantly ask themselves, how can I add more value? The 98% try to avoid hard work. They look for shortcuts, quick fixes, and get rich quick schemes. They want the harvest without the planting, the reward without the effort. I've never met a successful person who hasn't had to overcome either hardship or personal limitations, usually both. That's because success is not about what you're born with, it's about what you do with what you have. The law of diminishing intent. Here's another hard truth. We all have good intentions, but intentions without actions are worthless. The 2% understand what I call the law of diminishing intent. The longer you wait to do something you should do, the less likely you are to actually do it. The moment you feel an inspiration to act is when the inspiration is strongest. Each day you wait, the inspiration diminishes. The 2% act immediately on their good intentions. They don't wait for someday or when the time is right. The 98% say, I'll start my diet on Monday. I'll begin saving next month. I'll look for a new job after the holidays, and Monday becomes next Monday, next month becomes next year, and after the holidays becomes never. Don't fall victim to the law of diminishing intent. Whatever you know you should do, do it now. The power of association. Jim Rohn, that's me, is famous for saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. The 2% take this seriously. They carefully choose their associations. The 2% seek out positive, successful people. They find mentors, join masterminds, and surround themselves with individuals who challenge them to be better. The 98% associate with whoever is convenient or comfortable. They spend time with people who validate their excuses and reinforce their limitations. Look around you. Who are you spending time with? Are they lifting you up or pulling you down? Are they challenging you or comforting you in your mediocrity? This might be the hardest truth of all. Sometimes you need to distance yourself from certain people if you want to achieve extraordinary success. Not because they're bad people, but because they're not going where you're going. The miracle of personal development. The 2% understand that the most important investment they can make is in themselves. They commit to lifelong learning and personal growth. The 98% think education ends when school ends. They believe learning is something you do for a period of your life, not throughout your life. The 2% read books, listen to audio programs, attend seminars, find mentors, and constantly seek new knowledge and skills. They understand that to earn more, they must learn more. The 98% watch television, scroll through social media, and consume whatever entertainment is readily available. They invest their time in temporary pleasure rather than long-term growth. I challenge you to become a student of success. Read at least 30 minutes every day. Listen to educational audio while you're driving. Attend seminars and workshops. Find a mentor who's already achieved what you want to achieve. Personal development is the miracle process. It's the process of becoming more tomorrow than you are today. And the beautiful thing about personal development is that it's accessible to everyone. You don't need special talents or advantages. You just need the willingness to learn and grow. The power of discipline. The 2% understand that discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Discipline is doing what you know you should do, even when you don't feel like doing it. The 98% let their emotions dictate their actions. If they don't feel like working out, they don't. If they don't feel like saving money, they don't. If they don't feel like making that sales call, they don't. The 2% establish rituals and routines that ensure they take the right actions regardless of how they feel. They understand that feelings are fickle, but discipline is reliable. I often say, don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. Don't wish for fewer problems, wish for more skills. Don't wish for less challenge, wish for more wisdom. Discipline is what makes you better, gives you more skills, and helps you develop wisdom. Discipline is what turns potential into performance. The value of time. The 2% value time above all else. They understand that time is the one resource you can never get back. Once it's gone forever. The 98% waste time as if they have an unlimited supply. They procrastinate, engage in meaningless activities, and allow others to dictate how they spend their hours. The 2% guard their time carefully. They plan their days, eliminate non-essential activities, and focus on high-value tasks that move them toward their goals. I often ask my seminar attendees, how much time do you spend each day on personal development? Most people can't answer that question because they don't allocate specific time for it. The 2% do. They set aside time each day to read, learn, plan, and grow. Time management is really life management. How you spend your time is how you spend your life. The power of goals. The 2% set clear, specific written goals with deadlines. They know exactly what they want and by when they want it. The 98% have vague wishes and dreams, but no concrete plan to achieve them. They say things like, I want to be successful or I want to be happy, but they don't define what success or happiness means to them. The 2% review their goals daily. They visualize achieving their goals. They break their big goals down into smaller, actionable steps. The 98% set goals on January 1st and forget about them by January 15th. Or worse, they never set goals at all. I challenge you to write down your goals today. Be specific. Put deadlines on them. Review them every morning and every evening. Your goals will pull you toward them if you keep them front and center in your mind. The reality of failure. Here's another hard truth. The 2% fail more often than the 98%. That might surprise you, but it's true. The difference is that the 2% see failure as feedback, not as a final outcome. The 98% try something once, fail, and say, this doesn't work, or I'm not good at this. They let failure define them. The 2% fail, analyze what went wrong, adjust their approach, and try again. They understand that failure is not the opposite of success, it's part of success. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. When asked about his failures, he said, I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. That's the mindset of the 2%. They don't fear failure, they learn from it. They don't avoid failure, they embrace it as a necessary step toward success. The compound effect. The 2% understand what I call the compound effect. Small, consistent actions, repeated over time, create massive results. The 98% want immediate results. They start a diet and expect to lose 20 pounds in a week. They make a few sales calls and expect to land a huge client. When they don't see instant success, they give up. The 2% understand that success is like a savings account. You make small deposits daily, and over time, those deposits grow into something substantial. Reading 10 pages of a good book every day means you'll read about 15 books in a year. Saving $5 a day means you'll save over $1,800 in a year. Small actions consistently applied yield remarkable results. The magic of the compound effect is that it works in every area of life: finances, health, relationships, skills, knowledge. Small improvements consistently made lead to extraordinary outcomes. The power of attitude. The 2% maintain a positive, solution-focused attitude regardless of circumstances. They understand that while they can't control everything that happens to them, they can control how they respond. The 98% let circumstances dictate their attitude. When things go well, they feel good. When things go poorly, they feel bad. They're emotional ping-pong balls, bouncing back and forth based on external events. The 2% choose their attitude. They decide in advance how they will respond to challenges and setbacks. They look for the good in every situation and the opportunity in every problem. I often say, it's not what happens that determines your life's future. It's what you do about what happens. Your attitude is your window to the world. Clean your window occasionally so the light can come through. The value of service. The 2% understand that the secret to living is giving. They focus on creating value for others rather than just extracting value for themselves. The 98% ask, what's in it for me? The 2% ask, how can I help? How can I serve? How can I add value? The 2% understand that income follows service. The more value you create for others, the more value returns to you. I challenge you to shift your focus from getting to giving. Ask yourself, how can I serve more people? How can I serve them better? When you focus on serving others, success follows naturally. The power of integrity. The 2% maintain impeccable integrity. They do what they say they'll do. They keep their promises. They tell the truth, even when it's difficult. The 98% compromise their integrity for convenience or short-term gain. They break promises when keeping them becomes uncomfortable. They tell white lies to avoid difficult conversations. The 2% understand that integrity is the foundation of all success. Without integrity, success is hollow and temporary. I often say your word is your bond. When you say you'll do something, do it. When you make a commitment, keep it. Your reputation and your self-respect depend on it. The reality of sacrifice. The 2% understand that success requires sacrifice. You must give up to go up. You must sacrifice what you are for what you could become. The 98% aren't willing to make sacrifices. They want success without giving anything up. They want the reward without the sacrifice. The 2% sacrifice immediate pleasure for long-term gain. They sacrifice comfort for growth. They sacrifice the good for the great. What are you willing to give up to achieve extraordinary success? Television time? Sleep? Social media? Comfort? The 2% aren't afraid to answer these questions honestly. The power of persistence. The 2% persist when others quit. They understand that most people give up just when they're about to achieve success. They've fallen into the gap between expectation and result. The 98% quit when things get difficult or take longer than expected. They lack the persistence to push through challenges and setbacks. The 2% understand that persistence is the ultimate competitive advantage. It doesn't matter how talented or well-educated you are if you give up before reaching your goal. I often say, don't let the learning process end until the desired result has been achieved. Keep going, keep trying, keep learning, keep adjusting, but never ever give up on a dream that's important to you. The value of financial literacy. The 2% understand money, how to earn it, how to save it, how to invest it, and how to protect it. They take responsibility for their financial education. The 98% leave their financial future to chance or to others. They don't understand basic financial principles and make decisions based on emotion rather than education. The 2% pay themselves first. They save and invest before spending on non-essentials. They understand the power of compound interest in long-term investing. The 98% spend first and save what's left, which is usually nothing. They live paycheck to paycheck regardless of their income level. I challenge you to become financially literate. Read books on personal finance. Take courses. Find mentors who have achieved financial success. Your financial future is too important to leave to chance. The power of health. The 2% understand that their health is their most valuable asset. Without health, success in other areas means little. The 98% take their health for granted until they lose it. They make poor choices daily, ignoring the long-term consequences. The 2% invest in their health through proper nutrition, regular exercise, adequate sleep, and stress management. They understand that energy is the currency of productivity and health is the source of energy. I challenge you to prioritize your health. It's not just about living longer, it's about living better. It's about having the energy and vitality to pursue your dreams and enjoy your success. The reality of hard choices. The 2% make hard choices based on their values and goals rather than convenience or comfort. They choose the difficult right over the easy wrong. The 98% make choices based on what's easy, convenient, or immediately gratifying. They avoid difficult decisions and hard conversations. The 2% understand that every choice has consequences. They make choices with the future in mind, not just the present. I often say decision is the ultimate power. Your life is shaped by your decisions. Choose wisely. The power of focus. The 2% maintain laser-like focus on their highest priorities. They say no to good opportunities so they can say yes to great ones. The 98% try to do too many things at once. They chase multiple opportunities without fully committing to any of them. They suffer from shiny object syndrome. The 2% understand that success doesn't come from doing many things, it comes from doing a few things extraordinarily well. I challenge you to identify your highest value activities, the things that move the needle the most, and focus relentlessly on them. Eliminate or delegate everything else. The reality of discomfort. The 2% embrace discomfort as the price of growth. They understand that growth happens outside the comfort zone. The 98% avoid discomfort at all costs. They stay within the familiar, the safe, the known, even if it means settling for less than they're capable of achieving. The 2% voluntarily do difficult things. They have uncomfortable conversations. They tackle challenging projects. They push their limits regularly. I often say, don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. Embrace discomfort as a sign that you're growing, stretching, and becoming more than you were before. The power of clarity. The 2% have crystal clear clarity about what they want and why they want it. Their why is strong enough to sustain them through challenges and setbacks. The 98% lack clarity. They have vague notions about what they want, but no compelling reason why. Without a strong why, they give up when the going gets tough. The 2% revisit and refine their why regularly. They use their why as fuel for daily actions and as an anchor during difficult times. I challenge you to get clear not just on what you want to achieve, but why it matters deeply to you. A compelling why can overcome almost any how. The reality of personal responsibility. The 2% take 100% responsibility for their lives. They don't blame circumstances, other people, or external factors for their results. The 98% play the blame game. They have a list of reasons why they haven't achieved what they want, and none of those reasons involve themselves. The 2% understand that while they may not be responsible for every circumstance in their lives, they are responsible for their response to those circumstances. I often say you must take personal responsibility. You cannot change the circumstances, the seasons, or the wind, but you can change yourself. The power of belief. The 2% believe in themselves and their ability to achieve their goals even when evidence is lacking. They maintain unwavering belief through challenges and setbacks. The 98% doubt themselves. They let past failures and current challenges erode their belief. They think, who am I to succeed when so many others have failed? The 2% feed their belief through visualization, affirmation, and association with other believers. They protect their belief by limiting exposure to negativity and doubt. I challenge you to guard your belief carefully. It's the foundation upon which all success is built. As Henry Ford said, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. The reality of competition. The 2% compete primarily with themselves. They focus on becoming better today than they were yesterday rather than on beating others. The 98% are consumed with comparing themselves to others. They measure their success based on external standards rather than personal growth. The 2% understand that the real competition is internal. It's about overcoming your own limitations, fears, and past conditioning. I often say, don't compare yourself to others. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday. The power of gratitude. The 2% practice gratitude daily. They appreciate what they have while working for what they want. They understand that gratitude and ambition can coexist. The 98% focus on what's missing rather than what's present. They complain about what they lack instead of appreciating what they have. The 2% understand that gratitude is not just a nice sentiment. It's a powerful force that attracts more good into your life. I challenge you to start and end each day with gratitude. Count your blessings before you count your problems. Appreciate progress, not just perfection. The final truth, it's your choice. Now we come to the final and perhaps most important truth. Whether you join the 2% or remain with the 98% is entirely your choice. You weren't born into the 98% or 2%. You weren't assigned there by fate or circumstance. You choose which group you belong to through your daily decisions and actions. The wonderful thing about success is that it's democratic. It doesn't care about your background, your education, your past failures, or your current circumstances. It responds to principles, and these principles are available to anyone willing to learn and apply them. So I ask you, which will you choose? Will you continue with the philosophy and habits of the 98%, or will you adopt the mindset and actions of the 2%? Will you blame circumstances, or will you take responsibility? Will you focus on what you lack, or will you leverage what you have? Will you wait for motivation, or will you act with discipline? Will you major in minor things, or will you prioritize what truly matters? The choice is yours. It always has been. Your call to action. Before I conclude, I want to leave you with a call to action. Knowledge without action is worthless. Information without implementation is just entertainment. So here's what I want you to do. Decide today which group you want to belong to. Make a conscious choice to join the 2%. Write down your goals clearly and specifically. Review them daily. Identify one habit of the 98% that you need to eliminate and one habit of the 2% that you need to adopt. Start today. Commit to daily personal development. Read, listen, learn, grow. Surround yourself with people who support your aspirations and challenge you to be your best. Take immediate action on your good intentions. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Accept full responsibility for your life and your results. Remember, success is not something you pursue, it's something you attract by the person you become. Focus on becoming a person of value, character, and contribution. The path to joining the 2% isn't easy, but it's simple. It doesn't require special talents or advantages. It requires understanding and applying the principles we've discussed today. The hard truth most people ignore is that success is available to anyone willing to pay the price. The question is, are you willing to pay it? I believe you are. I believe you have what it takes to join the 2%. I believe you can create the life you desire and deserve. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Take that step today. Thank you.